penales no son suerte.
Penalties aren't about luck.
Suerte es tirar una moneda.
Luck is throwing a coin in the air and seeing which way it falls.
Entran a jugar un montón
With
de
penalties,
cosas,
a lot of things come into play.
frialdad,
Personality, fear, the talent and ability to perform under pressure. It's a unique moment.
Un momento único.
The year is 1990, and the 14th FIFA World Cup has launched in Italy. It's been remembered for spectacular goals, colourful fans and controversial incidents. And among the great players was a 26-year-old from Buenos Aires who arrived expecting to warm the bench and left a world star.
It was a completely new experience for me. I remember the night before the first match ringing my father to remind him to tape everything so as to ensure I would have a record of me at the World Cup. But in the end, things turned out rather differently.
As holders, Argentina took part in the opening game against the African no-hopers from Cameroon. In goal for Argentina was veteran Nery Pompidou, undisputed #1. But this was not his day. There was only one goal and it was scored by Cameroon, and it was Pompidou's error that handed the West Africans the most unlikely of victories.
Cameroon ended up showing everyone they were much better than people had predicted before the tournament. Going into that match, we had it in our minds that a bad result would be a draw. So imagine what we felt like when we lost. From that moment on, every game we played was like a final, because we could not afford to lose another match.
Worse was to befall Pompidou at the start of the next match against the Soviet Union in Naples. With fewer than 10 minutes on the clock, an accidental clash between Pompidou and defender Goycochea left the veteran custodian with a broken leg. In the most unfortunate of circumstances, Goycochea had been handed his big chance.
When people ask me how I felt about Pompidou's injury in that match against Russia, I tell them I didn't know what had happened. I only found out how bad the injury was at the end of the match. At half-time, they didn't want to tell me so as not to affect my performance. I felt strange. It didn't seem right to feel happy because I'd finally got my chance at the expense of a teammate being badly injured. But that's life.
A draw in their final group game meant that Argentina would have to meet arch-rivals Brazil in the round of 16. The Seleção dominated the match, but a piece of individual brilliance by Diego Maradona 10 minutes from time allowed Claudio Caniggia to break free and steal victory for the Argentinians.
Caniggia was able to score that goal thanks to Maradona. When the Brazilians saw that it was Maradona who had the ball, all four of them went to close him down, leaving the space open for Caniggia. If it had been any other player, then perhaps only the fullback would have gone to shut him down, and the centre-half might have stayed with Caniggia. That shows you how important he was, and how highly rated he was by the opposition. It was that respect which made this goal, and it was the only goal of the match.
Goycochea really started to make his name in Argentina's next match, the quarter-final against Yugoslavia in Florence. With a deadlock unbroken after 90 minutes and extra time, penalties would decide the winner. But Argentina looked to be on their way out of Italian 90 when Maradona missed his spot kick.
When Diego missed as I walked past him to get in goal for the next penalty, we touched hands and I said to him, "Don't worry, I'll save 2 of the next 3. I said it more from nervousness than any real conviction, but luckily that's what I did. That's the moment when a goalkeeper mustn't lose his nerve and stay completely focused on the task at hand.
Brnovic and Hadzibegic both had their penalties saved by Goycochea. Argentina had won a place in the last 4. Their opponents would be hosts and favourites, Italy. In front of more than 60,000 fans in Naples, in Diego Maradona's club stadium, Argentina raised their game. Salvatore Schillaci put the Italians in front early in the first half, before Claudio Caniggia equalised to force the match into yet another penalty shootout. Once again, Goycochea was the man in form. Roberto Donadoni the first to fail. This time around, Diego Maradona made no mistake. Italy needed to score their last penalty to keep their hopes alive. Aldo Serena faced Sergio Goycochea and couldn't score. Argentina were through.
La verdadera final.
Emotionally, our final was that match against Italy. It's not that we didn't try our best against Germany. It's just that our feelings ran so high in the semi-final that when we came to the final, we were simply too tired. What I also remember from that match against Italy is that they didn't insult us like they did elsewhere, as a mark of respect to Diego.
That certainly wasn't the case in the final against West Germany. Held in Rome's Stadio Olimpico, a hostile crowd made it clear from the outset whom they were supporting, whistling the Argentina national anthem. The match itself proved to be a dour encounter. Chances were few and far between. The game was littered with unsavoury moments. Not until the 85th minute did the game come to life. Nesta Sensini was adjudged to have fouled Rudi Völler, and referee Codesal awarded a penalty. That left Andreas Bremer facing Goycochea with a chance to win the FIFA World Cup.
As Bremer was running up to take the penalty, I decided that he was going to hit it to my right. I thought he was going to hit it high into the net because Bremer was a guy who hit the ball with both feet, was used to taking free kicks over walls and was used to hitting the ball high into the top of the net. So I prepared myself as if he was taking a free kick. And that's what's ultimately stopped me from getting to it when it went into the bottom corner.
With that, West Germany had won their third world title. Yet despite the defeat back home in Buenos Aires, the Argentinians were greeted as heroes, and one man in particular received plenty of adulation.
Even today, 17 years later, people come up to me and say, "Thanks to you, we won the World Cup." And I have to remind them, that's not true, we finished runners-up. On the other hand, some people deride me as being only a penalty saver. Well, they can say what they like. I would do it all over again if I had the chance, but with just one difference. I would have saved the penalty in the final.